Well, John, are there words to describe how you're feeling at the moment?
There are, but unfortunately I can't put them on camera or tape, so devastating really.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a difficult afternoon, and of course you got the early goal, and then you're all hoping, aren't you, that you're going to move on and have the perfect afternoon?
Well, I thought so. I thought we were obviously a bit edgy to start with, which was going to happen. I thought we approached the game really well. We obviously got the goal we needed, and until the sending off, I thought we controlled what was happening. We controlled the tempo like we wanted to. They didn't really hurt us. Fully in control, and then obviously what happens. It changes the whole course of the game.
There have been quite a few feisty challenges in those early stages, and I just felt at one stage perhaps the referee was losing a bit of control. Do you think it was the next challenge that gave him an opportunity he might take advantage to send somebody off?
I think it's the area of the pitch the challenge was in. When it's right in front of their dugout, I think it leads to something that it did. They're benching up in arms, they're running on the pitch. They're really screaming for him to be sent off. I thought the challenge itself looked a lot worse. I thought it wanted a yellow, not a red. And then when a player obviously gets up and continues the game, and then turns around and winks at myself, it obviously tells you the story.
Bit of reaction between the two benches after that as well, wasn't there?
That's poor, really poor. It shouldn't happen. I've spoken to Garno. That can't happen. That's very unprofessional. Garno's aware of that. It'll never happen again. It's just not right. It's not the right thing to do, not the professional thing to do. It's just something that we can't do as a club and as a management team. It's just unacceptable.
On the pitch you were quite professional after that though. You reorganised really well and you kept them at arm's length. I mean, your discipline was really good, I thought, John.
Again, for me, I thought they didn't really threaten yet. They're going to have spells in games. They're going to have a lot of the ball being a man down. I thought we had a good shape about us. They didn't really look to penetrate the balls that were hit over the top, or running through to the keeper, or being dealt with by our defenders or the goalkeeper. They will have scrambles. They're dangerous from set plays. We knew all that. But again, sending off had a massive burden on what was about to happen. So.
A lot of highs and lows off the pitch, I mean, as soon as you scored, Crew scored, then they go 2-0 up, then you hear Oldham have scored and they're ahead as well. I mean, the emotions must have been fluctuating one way and the other.
They were, but again, the result of our hands. Even if we win, it's out of your hands, which is the unfortunate thing. It's not just today, it's not just the last few months that we've said. It's been to the start of the season. What we need to do as a football club, from top to bottom, is review the structure of how we do things, how we're best suited going forward. We need to get a good base, a good platform to build from. I don't know we have had in previous years. It's up to sort of the club, the board, to sort of put that in place. Without them foundations, good foundations, the club can't grow. And I think that's been the case in the past. We've sort of looked at the other side of things and player recruitment and stuff, which again I think needs a massive overhaul. It's been poor, but we've not concentrated on that on staffing. And if you look at the correct staff, the correct amount of staff, the right staff, all the players you have, they're not getting the support they need. And we need to build from a good foundation, and includes getting the right people in, the right amount of people in, to build these foundations to take the club forward.
You're under contract, John. Have you had those sort of discussions already? Have they started with you?
Nothing for me. Always has been my only objective was to keep us in League One. Unfortunately for me, that's not happened. I can't think of anything else. Honestly, my mind, my energy levels they're not thrown towards anything about John McMahon. It's just an anger and a disappointment for the fantastic fans that are here today. It's disappointing for the players when you look at their faces and what it means to them as well. It just, all in all, it's difficult to take, really.
Great energy about the club today. As you saw, the fans, over 7,000 Tranmere fans in the crowd here today. I mean, that's something to build on as well, surely.
It is. It sounds crazy, but there's been a good vibe about the club. There's been a good energy about the club ever since sort of Jeremy's come in, and he's given a different perspective about from an outside person coming in. He's not had rose-coloured glasses on. He's been quite critical, and I think rightly so. And we need more of that. We need to take the criticism on board, but we need to go deeper and find out the real root of the problems. Because it's not just this season; it's previous seasons where we've really struggled. That can't happen. We can't let that happen again as a club. We've got to build, and we've got to build in the right way and get the right foundations in place, like I mentioned earlier. And if we don't do that, then we'll struggle again.
Sounds as if very strongly you want to be part of that, John. You know, you're committed and want to be part of that if the conversation takes place.
No, this is my club. I always seen it my club. I cut my teeth here. The relegation today affects me as well. It affects my family, as it should. I'm hurt. I'll continue hurt. But on the other side of that, I've got to be realistic. I've got to look at how the club can grow, how it needs to grow, why we need to grow, why we need to change things, and all them things ultimately will get us back to where we belong.
Does it make any difference at all at the end that it was out of your hands when you started? In the end, with the results elsewhere, it was out of your hands at the end of 90 minutes as well. Is that any consolation, or does it just make it even more frustrated with the way the season's gone?
It's no consolation whatsoever. What's frustrating is it wasn't in our hands. If it was in our hands, then maybe we'd have approached it a little bit differently. The fact that we have a man sent off is difficult to take. But like I've said there, we need to build now. We need to use this as a positive in taking it right back. I don't think we can go any lower as a club. I personally feel that. I thought we were getting things right, and I still feel, as a club, we're getting things right. People mightn't see that, but I think those people who are close to the club and know the runnings and workings of the club will see that, will recognise that. And I firmly believe that if them building blocks are in place, then we can take this club forward and take this club forward quickly.
Just give us a feel for what it was like in that dressing room, when everybody had come off at the end, and the players knew, you knew, the staff knew you were on your way down.
It's hard to describe. It's upsetting, really. You're seeing people emotional. You look around the dressing room, you've got senior players, in tears because they feel it. And again, I'm a big believer in they feel it for the families. I've done a presentation for them before the game, which is quite emotional, I thought, as well, about the families. And now, the families are behind them, which, again, I can never knock the players for effort, commitment, passion. People will say to me, your team lack discipline because of the sending off. Now, if Brown doesn't go for a challenge, then my team lacks passion and desire because it doesn't make a tackle. What I can't legislate as far as the decision made by the referee, I can't change that. What I can affect those players, and I thought those players gave everything they had today. I couldn't have asked for any more effort, commitment, desire, team set up. That's a minimum that we can ask for. I thought we set it up well. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
How quickly do decisions have to be made now, John, do you think, to move it on in the way that you're describing there, that you want this club and this club needs to move forward on?
Well, they've got to be made quickly. We're at a period now where other teams are looking for certain types of players. We need to recruit properly. We need to look at certain types of players that would fit into a certain style of play. Again, I don't think these things, I know these things have not been thought out in the past. We know to have a certain style of play that we know would be attractive and would be a winning style of play and would suit the DNA of this football club. It would have passion, it would have flair. We need to recruit these players that fit into that style of play, and that's what we need to be doing. That's how deep we need to be going, and that's what hopefully we'll be doing in the future.
And presumably the experienced players should be able to deal with something like this and move on, but for younger players, it's how they respond now themselves, isn't it? A lot of tears around the dressing room we've just seen now, so they've got to respond in the right way, haven't they?
It's all experience. How do you gain experience? By seeing good times, by also seeing bad times. That's how you gain experience. Those experiences, both good and bad, will make you a better person, will make you a stronger person. There's no taking away that. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it really, really hurts. But ultimately, they'll go away with that. They'll think it might be in a year, 2 years, it might be in a month, 2 months. They'll see what happens today of reflecting their future careers, and it will make them stronger. It will make them realise how much it means, what it means to themselves, to the teammates, and to the supporters. So they'll take something from today. It mightn't be nice today, but it'll make them stronger and make them better equipped for their futures.
Just as low as you've been in football, John?
No, I think so. Again, it's so just disappointed you see that many people willing to do well. Family, friends, it's just, you know, it's hard to take, but it's something I have to take, I have to deal with, and I've got to get on with things. I owe it to a lot of people to get on with things. I think the staff that we've had, and the small staff, Greg Bundell, you know, John Stokes, Tyzo, who don't get paid. Stokes and Tyzo don't get a penny in wages. They've been there every day working. Timo, again, tirelessly in his work. But, you know, I feel for them. I feel for them people who give to the cause. I feel for, you know, the girls in the office. I feel for Tim. I feel for, you know, the kit man, the groundsman. That's what hurts me. I see the work they put in, you know, and that's all reflection on the football team. I have an obligation to sort of keep this club up. All right, it hasn't happened, but again, not just today. It's been from the start of the season. You know, it does hurt, and I am hurting, but I'm also I'll be fighting to get this club back where it belongs.
Appreciate your honesty, John, as usual.
Thank you.